It's that time of the year. You're bored browsing through your Steam library and you feel like playing a game that will give you that dopamine rush that you so crave. You have most likely heard of Warframe, I mean, who hasn't at this point, and either you have never played it, or you've played it quite a few years ago and would like to get back into it, but the problem is, Warframe is a lot to deal with and it could be a little bit overwhelming, you know? I will be standing with you and walking you through everything you need to know to start conquering the Warframe universe. I will try my absolute best to make it spoiler free during this series, and if I cannot, I will make spoiler warnings just so you know.
Now the big question is, what is Warframe? Well, the simple answer is it's a looter shooter, but it's a bit more in depth than that. You can play, at the time of this video, among 60 different Warframes, which are these cool looking space heroes slash ninjas. Each of them are in-depth, unique, and offer many different playstyles. You kill enemies, loot them, craft better weapons and better warframes, kill more, get more loot, get richer, and simply destroy everything in your path. You are basically a god in this game. Not to mention the fantastic and vast storyline that this game offers. For those of you who like lore in games, Warframe is incredibly lore-rich, so you have quite a nice treat there. Warframe also offers you 12 years worth of content, so trust me when I say if you are a new player in 2025 looking to play Warframe, you are going to have so much content to do. It has never been a better time to start Warframe. So come along with me and let Professor Flo walk you through your path ahead. Let's start at the beginning. You have created your account and you load up into the first cutscene. After the cutscene ends, you are greeted with this screen here telling you to pick your Warframe. These are Warframes, the heroes you will be playing, commonly referred to as just frames. These are the 3 starter frames, Excalibur, Mag, and Volt. I cannot stress this enough, and you're probably going to hear me say this so many times by the end of the series, you are going to be sick of it. Play the game how you want to. Everything I say and do are merely suggestions, and I'm so big on this because you will have a much better time in Warframe if you simply just play or do what you want because it looks cool and you are having fun. Don't always listen to every player you ask, and don't just blindly follow their suggestions. Play your game and how you would like to enjoy it. That is all that matters. I went for Mag because she's incredibly powerful and makes the early game really easy, but she can be a little energy hungry for a brand new player. Volt and Excalibur are a little easier to understand the ropes of Warframe, but genuinely just pick whatever tickles your fancy because you can get all of these Warframes fairly early on in the game anyway. Once you have chosen your desired frame, you will then be plopped into the game's tutorial. In this shortish tutorial, you will learn the basics of Warframe. Go through and complete this tutorial. You will then be thrown into what is known as your Orbiter. The Orbiter is your main hub essentially. This is your home. Here you will sort out your gear, craft new things, start missions, access all your loot, and so much more. You will then be prompted by Lotus to complete the first quest in the game called Vors Prize. This is the starter quest that kind of just throws you in the deep end a little. You will need to complete a series of missions in this quest, so just follow the prompts in the navigation tab and listen to Ordis and Lotus. As you begin to do these missions, you will kind of get the vibe of Warframe and how it goes. Once you complete the Vors Prize quest, you're probably sitting there confused as hell. What on earth do I do now? Where do I go? And you're probably overwhelmed by the mod system, the huge navigation tab with all the planets, all the frames, weapons in the arsenal, all the stuff in the Foundry, everything. But don't stress, my baby Tenno. This is why I'm here to help you. The first thing you need to know about Warframe is your Mastery rank. Mastery rank is commonly referred to as MR in the community. You will hear this term in many videos and people talking about the game. Your Mastery rank is your whole profile level. As you increase your Mastery rank, you will get access to more and more weapons and Warframes that are locked behind a specific Mastery rank requirement. When you hover over a weapon, you can actually see what the Mastery rank requirement will be. Your goal as a brand new player is to try get to MR17 as fast as possible. After you've reached MR17, you will have access to pretty much everything in the game that is locked behind Mastery rank. Leveling up any further will just give you quality of life features. For those of you who would like to know how much is in the game, you can actually go up to Legendary 5, which is technically Mastery rank 35. After MR30, you will go to Legendary 1 and so on. This isn't important for you to know, it's just so that you can kind of have an idea of how far this game can go. Well, how do you actually gain Mastery rank? As you build and add more weapons and warframes into your arsenal, you will need to level them up by running them in missions. As you level them up and kill enemies, you will gain mastery rank points. Each frame and weapon has a max level of 30. There are some exceptions, as some weapons can be leveled to level 40, but that's not important for you to know now. A weapon will give you 3000 mastery rank points at max. A warframe will give you 6000 mastery rank points at max rank. That's 100 points per level for weapons and 200 per level for frames. When you have maxed out the weapon's level or frame, you will keep those mastery rank points forever, and you can sell the weapon or frame afterwards if you'd like. We will go over that in depth in the next episode. Each mastery rank will require a certain amount of MR points to rank up to the next level. You can see how many points you still need by going to the main menu, heading over to your name, clicking profile, and checking how many points are still needed. For reference, MR1 you need 7500 points, MR2 you need 12,500, for MR3 you need 17,500, and so on. A quick side note here for those of you who are probably asking, are warframes and weapons the only way of gaining master rank? The answer is no, they are not. You can actually hover over the master rank box and a window will pop up showing you all the different things in the game that will give you MR points. Once you have enough points and you have a prompt to level up, press escape and click on the mastery rank up test. Don't worry, they have changed it now so that you can actually do the master rank test as many times as you want until you succeed. Once you have succeeded, you will have a 23-hour cooldown before you can level up your master rank again. You will never lose points when you max rank or start leveling up weapons and gain master rank points from them. You can actually stack up points over and above the required points for the next level, so that when you complete the next test after the cooldown is finished, you can already be halfway to the next mastery rank. Alright, that covers the most important things to know when it comes to mastery rank as a beginner in Warframe. Now let's walk you through the navigation tab. When you walk over to your navigation tab, you would have seen this. Yeah, I know, it's a lot, right? All these planets, nodes with weird names, there's just a lot going on. But you don't need to worry too much because the progression is actually somewhat linear in this game and pretty simple as you begin to play and progress. You start on Earth at E Prime. This is your starting point when you begin the Vors prize quest. Your goal is essentially to finish all of the nodes on every planet and head towards the junctions. Junctions are gateways to the next planet so you can progress further in the star chart. The star chart is what we call this whole planet maps universe thing. As you unlock more junctions, you unlock more planets, which open more doors to more content. In order for you to complete the junctions, you will need to complete a specific set of tasks to move on. These tasks can be seen by hovering over the junctions, and you will see it pop up on the right telling you all the things that you need to do. You will also gain some nice rewards for finishing these junctions. One thing I do want to mention here is you don't actually need to finish every single node on the planet before you move on to the next. You will just need to complete the task that is required for the junctions, and then you can actually kind of speed run through all of the planets to unlock them. But in the end, you will need to complete every node on the star chart to progress further. This is entirely up to you what you decide to do. You play the game how you would like to. I know some people like to complete every single node and then move on to the next. Some people like to speedrun, unlock all of the planets, and then go back and finish up all the nodes later. Both of them work out, it's up to you. If you hover over each node, it will tell you the name of the mission, as well as the mission type, as well as the faction that is occupying that node, and will also tell you the element that they are weak to or resilient to. But don't worry about that now so early on in the game, we will get to that later on in future episodes. There are many different mission types in Warframe. If you would like to read up more info on them, you can do so in-game in the Codex menu in your orbiter, which has a missions section that perfectly explains every mission type. Some of them are really self-explanatory, like exterminate and capture and so on. Others may need a little bit of a quick look up and then you're good to go. In your missions, you will come across different types of enemies depending on the planet you are on. Now these are called factions. Warframe has what I like to call 4 main factions that you fight against as a beginner. There are quite a few more factions out there, but these 4 are the main ones in the beginning. The 4 main factions are Grineer, which you have been introduced to already, Corpus, who absolutely love money and Groffet, Infested enemies, which are these things, and then finally there are Corrupted or Orokin enemies, which are basically Grineer and Corpus that are corrupted by Void energy, that isn't too important for you to know right now. Just know that you're going to run into them fairly soon in the beginning. As you begin to play missions, you will start to collect materials and credits. Credits are one of the main source of currencies in this game. It is pretty much used for everything when it comes to crafting and buying stuff. You will need credits for buying blueprints, upgrading your mods, crafting things, and so on. The majority of things in Warframe cost credits in some way or another. The resources that you begin to collect in missions will be used to craft said weapons and frames that you will obtain the blueprints for. Okay, so we have gone over a lot of stuff already, and you're probably sitting here thinking, okay, what do I do now? Your goal as a brand new player is to get to Mars. To do this, you will need to go from Earth to Venus to Mercury, and then you can unlock the requirements to get to Mars. On Earth, you will see the node called Cetus. Cetus is one of Warframe's open worlds. These are quite important for your progression later on in the game, but for now, just head on over there at your own pace and do the quest in your own time. On Venus, there will also be Fortuna, which is also part of the other open world section. You will also need to do a quest there. Go through the nodes, complete each junction requirements, and work your way towards Mars. In the next episode, we can talk about progressing further. That is just a quick suggestion on giving you some direction and guidance as to what to do. Before we go further, if I could ask that you hit that like button, it really helps me out and also helps other people seeing this video, so thank you so much, my good Tenor. Let's just do a very quick orbiter tour. Firstly, when you're in your orbiter, you can actually hold down Q if you are a mouse and keyboard player. For consoles, it will just be your gear wheel bind in your settings. Here you can see all of the different menus in your orbiter, like your navigation being the first one on the top, your arsenal, your foundry, your mods, and so on. You can also press escape. Here you will see the navigation on top, and then if you click equipment, you will also be able to see the menus here that you can teleport to essentially. At your own pace, explore all the menus and find out where they are in the orbiter. But when you use the quick menu, it's a lot easier to move around and get to where you need to go in your orbiter instead of manually walking up to each of them. This leads me on to mods in this game. Simply put, modding makes Warframe Warframe. It is by far one of the biggest aspects and attractions to this game. Mods allow you as the player to have the freedom to create many different builds later on in the game as you progress. I'm going to briefly go over modding as you don't need to know everything right now. You can equip mods onto your warframes or weapons to make you stronger and provide you with better stats. As you begin to play different missions and kill different enemies, they will start dropping mods. You equip these mods in the modding screen in your arsenal. There is a mod tab which can be seen here in your orbiter, or you can access it by the quick access menu. This screen right here, now hold on. This screen is a noob killer. I cannot stress this enough. Many new players open up this bad boy and go, nope, I'm out. But I am here to tell you that it will all start to make sense as you begin to play, and it's not so bad. As you can see, there are a crap ton of mods in this game. There are mods for different categories like warframes, weapons, companions, and so on. Then you have subcategories for mods for each weapon type like rifles, shotguns, snipers, pistols, melees, etc, etc. In this menu right here, you can see all the different actions you can do with modding on the top. You can upgrade them, transmute them, sell them for credits. Please don't do this as a new player. I beg of you, do not sell your mods for credits. Dissolve mods for endo. Please only do this for duplicate mods, and then item treasures, which you don't need to worry about right now. I know it seems like I keep saying that a lot in this video, but it's true because otherwise it just would be an overload of information. To upgrade your mods, you will need a resource called Endo. Endo is gathered from playing missions and is the main resource used to upgrade your mods as well as credits. Endo is incredibly important and quite hard to obtain until later on when you have access to better farms. Then we move on to the Foundry segment. Here you will craft everything that can be craftable. In Warframe, you have crafting times, but not just your few minute crafting times. No, long crafting times. It takes 72 hours to build most Warframes. Some newer Warframes are shorter. Weapons take on average 12 to 24 hours to build. I know what you're thinking. That sucks. Why is it so long? It's just how it is in this game. You can actually use it to your advantage in a sense. You can build a bunch of frames and weapons and queue them and just let them cook in the background for a few days while you continue to grind more and add more weapons and frames into the queue, rinse and repeat. Just a quick new player tip. Always have something cooking in the Foundry. It's very important to utilize the time that you have while you are playing. Then we move on to the Arsenal. This is your main hub for your loadout to take into missions. Here you can change and build your weapons, frames, companions, gear, your Archwing, and so on. You can mod them, change their appearance. In Warframe, your appearance and how you decorate your frame is known as fashion frame. You will hear many tenors speak of such a term. Moving on to the Codex. The Codex is your in-game tab for information. This is where you see your quests, the Universe tab, which goes over pretty much everything that can be farmed and what's in the game. Lavarian tab, which is just lore, basically. Training is redoing the tutorials, and missions. This is the tab that I spoke about earlier, which goes over every mission type. And finally, we move on to the market. This is the in-game market in which you can buy weapons, blueprints, bundles, cosmetics, decorations, and so on for platinum. Platinum is Warframe's premium currency, but it's not what you think. You see, Warframe is one of the very rare cases in the gaming industry nowadays where the premium currency that you would pay real life doubloons for can actually be obtained in-game through trading for free. This is a very nice game design choice that actually makes Warframe shine compared to other free-to-play game models nowadays. Full disclaimer here, the 8,000 plus platinum that you can see on my account is not normal. For this series, I did invest money into the account so that I could put the videos out more efficiently and quicker. So this is not normal for a beginner. Just a little disclaimer there for full transparency. A very important note for new players. Majority of the things that you will see in the market will have a platinum price tag on it. It does not mean you have to buy it with platinum. Many weapons and frames have blueprints that can be obtained by buying them with credits from the market. You can actually check this by going to the weapon you want and seeing if it has a credit blueprint cost. If it does, then you could just buy it with credits whenever you have enough. And then head on over to the Foundry to see the required resources to build it, or you can actually just hover over the blueprint in the market menu and it will tell you the resources required. But if it says blueprint build requirements, that means that you can obtain that weapon's blueprint via farming it in-game or a different piece of content. Buying weapons and frames with platinum just means that you skip the crafting times and you get it in an instant. Now, you may or may not be thinking, Warframe is pay to win. And my answer to that is no. Warframe is not pay to win. There is absolutely nothing in Warframe that is locked behind a paywall. You can start Warframe today and go straight to the end game without spending a dime. However, I will say Warframe is pay for convenience or pay for being impatient. Like me, I am very impatient, which some may argue is pay to win. I personally don't, but my point is there's nothing locked behind a paywall that will affect your gameplay in any way. Remember, you can get platinum in-game via trading, which can be used to buy or speed up crafting times anyway. This system, in my opinion, is one of the main reasons why Warframe has been so successful 12 years later. Some tips and tricks that I can give you as a new player. Get involved with the community. Ask questions. There are a lot of players out there that love helping newer tenor. You can head on over to the Q&A section in the in-game chat and ask a quick question there if you'd like, but I have to warn you about something. There are some players who can take this game a little too seriously than what it is, and will only recommend the best of the best things in Warframe and the meta things. There is inherently nothing wrong with that, but there is a reason I feel so strongly about it. There's nothing wrong with taking someone's advice in a game, but I can't stress this enough. Play the game how you want and don't make anyone make you feel bad about playing a certain way or using a certain weapon and frame. As long as you are having fun, that is all that matters. If you only play the meta or play what someone tells you to play, you could land up getting bored with the game pretty quickly. And I speak from experience. The wiki is your best friend. If you ever need a quick answer to a question, a speedy Google will get you your answer right away on the Warframe wiki. If you are still struggling, then YouTube videos are your other best friend. You will have a much better experience if you get comfortable using the wiki and watching tutorials. Now to answer the million-dollar question. Is Warframe worth it? Yes, 100%. Especially as a new player in 2025, it is one of the best times to start playing this game. You have so much content at your disposal to keep you busy for hundreds of hours. This game is always changing and growing, but I will be honest with you, it is still a big grind. The beginner grind has been improved drastically over the years. It's a lot less, but overall it is still grindy. If you are the type of person that enjoys grindy games, then you'll have an absolute blast. but to some that might deter them from playing it. However, if you don't like grindy games because you don't have much time and you're just busy with life, the beauty of Warframe is that there's no rush to progress or pressure to get to a certain point. This game is actually incredibly casual. Warframe will always be here for you whenever you feel like playing, along with all of its content. Once you get past the new barrier and the learning curve, you have a diamond in the rough. It truly is a very special game, especially in 2025. And that concludes the episode 1 of the series. In future episodes, we will dive into the specifics of things and go over everything you need to know in Warframe. Hopefully you're not feeling too overwhelmed. If you are, just play the game at your own pace, read as much as you can, and it will all start to make sense. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, so more people can see this video and so you can see more of the series. I will see you all in the next one.